はい、皆さんこんにちは。エイムの福地圭司です。前回のアナヘイムの MDRT 年次総会の報告リポートご覧いただけましたでしょうか。いかがですか。行ったことない方はね、ちょっとイメージできないと思うんでね、今日はパート2でですね、2日目火曜日に行われる MDRT スピークスですね。火曜日の8時から11時まで10人の方がですね、1回1人20分ぐらいずつスピーチを次々としていく、そういうコーナーがあります。それと大会のね、概要についてもちょっとご説明していきたいと思いますので、それでは今日もよろしくお願いいたします。それでは行ってみましょう。エイム製法セールスチャンネル第166回ですね。今日も MDRT アナヘイム大会の報告リポートパート2ということで、 MDRT のセッションの中でもですね、人気のある火曜日に行われる MDRT スピークス、ちょっとね一部をご紹介したいと思います。世界中のトップセールスがお一人当たり20分ぐらいね、次々と出てきてスピーチをする、そんなようなプログラムでございます。その前にね、MDRT の年次総会ってね、特に MDRT のメンバーもアメリカに行かない方も多いのでね、行ったらどんなのが見れるのかということで、プログラムの概要をご紹介したいと思います。まずですね、大会の一番の大きい行事、これがメインプラットフォームですね。大会場での講演ですね。1万人ぐらい入れるホールにですね、 MDRT の今回は7000名ぐらいだったんですかね、全員参加での主に午前中のセッションでございます。日曜日からね、前夜祭等始まるんですけれども、メインプラットフォームが始まるのは月曜日の午前中、火曜日の午前中ですね。その火曜日の午前中が後ほどビデオでご紹介する MDRT スピークス、人気のプログラムです。8時から11時で、最終日の水曜日はメインプラットフォームは午後ということになります。でその他にはですね、フォーカスセッションといいましてね、小ホールでの分科会、小ホールって言ってもですね、数百人入る大きなホールにですね、いろんなテーマでやっぱり人気があるのは紹介入手とかですね、そういったようなプログラムというのは多くの参加者が集まってまいります。月曜日と火曜日はメインプラットフォームの終わった午後、あと水曜日は午前中ですね。そしてコネクションゾーンっていうんですね。これがちょっとご理解しづらいと思うんですけれども、小セッションなんですね。分科会より短くて小規模なですね、日本語で言えば辻説法ですかね。小さい舞台での講演があります。これはもう日曜日からですね、終わりまでもう随時いろんな時間帯にやってまして、日本人のスピーカーの方もたくさん参加されておりますね。私も2013年のフィラデルフィア大会ですかね、これで個人保険についてのセッションと、その後確かマイアミの大会ですかね、これ法人保険について20分ぐらいコネクションゾーンで講演したことがあります。イメージ的にはこんな感じですね。これ私は第1回の時のですね、コネクションゾーンでの講演なので、マイクもないんですね。今はそんなことないですね。マイクもありますし、場合によってはスライドも使えますね。こんな感じでやっております。
Loyalty-driven marketing that builds lasting relationships and expands our market. Let me begin with a question. How do you segment your clients? Is it by premium amount, benefit size, or total assets? Personally, I segment my clients based on their level of loyalty towards me, and I use a 5-tier model to do so. Number 1, fundamental value. Number 2, expected value. Number 3, desired value. Number 4, unexpected value. Number 5, empathetic identification. Let me explain these 5 levels. The first 2 levels, fundamental and expected value, are the basics. These are the skills every competent agent should possess. For example, being punctual, keeping promises, presenting clear material, and maintaining a professional appearance. If you fail here, find the right. While you continue what you perceive, it's hard to break the outcome because all the empty out members are perfect. The third level, dialogue, is where the client in addition to the basics, we offer specialized knowledge in life insurance and create materials that are not only clear but compelling. And through that communication, they trust us enough to tell us what they have never said loud out before. At this level is where I aim to earn contracts. The fourth level, unexpected value, is where we provide our clients. They begin to say, I didn't expect the life expectations to go this far. We offer advice, offer plans, taxation plans, even personal family insurance. These become accounting for your business challenges and provide training for staff and managers. We become more than agents. We become trusted advisors. And finally, the fifth level, empathetic identification. This is where we share values and a sense of mission with our clients. They proudly introduce us as my go-to person. They seek our opinions, engage in deep discussions, and turn to us first when facing challenges. At this level, we are not just service providers, we are part of their inner circle. These top 2 levels, unexpected value and empathetic identification, are what I call advocate clients. And here's the key. It's not about how many clients you serve. It is about how many advocate clients you have. Too often, agents pour all their energy into securing a contract, only to see clients satisfied with the client afterwards. But with this loyalty strategy, we continue to raise client satisfaction through on-contract services, which deliver added value that they need. We turn clients into advocates, people who expand our market for us. This is a reproducible strategy. It's not based on luck or charisma. It's a framework that any of us can adopt, refine, and scale. And if each of us can increase our number of advocate clients, even by 1, we'll see our market grow in ways we never imagined. Thank you, MDRT. Let's
He believed that you can know that the answer is yes before you actually get to the meeting. In fact, if you don't know that the answer is yes before you get to the meeting, then you have not spent the requisite amount of time to actually have the meeting.
Let's get there. I can speak for America. We talked about this, the stats. mental well-being are down. And that's amongst everybody. It's amongst you guys and amongst your clients and all of us. We're looking at that. A topic that comes out of life is burnout. Burnout. And it's happening with people who are successful. And I'll say, I'm saying this with a bias, it happened to me, Mr. Personal Development and Self-Improvement and Success. And I burned out back to the connection that if we are not connected with us, I think people are still not understanding that we can have great success and still come to our end. How's it happen? How are you withstanding it? You're in Silicon Valley High Life.
So, you're absolutely right. I mean, burnout's real. Not to use a stupid one, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. But all those things are the same thing. Is you can't get intense all the time. And I did learn something really important from this probably 25 years ago, more, 30 years ago. So earlier in my career, before Netflix, I worked for a big multinational software company, and I ran European marketing. So I was head of marketing for all of Europe. We had 7 or 8 offices throughout Europe, and I was living in Paris, working out of our headquarters in Paris. And almost every day, probably 4 days a week, I'd be visiting other offices. So I'd be getting up in the morning, driving to the airport, flying to Copenhagen, flying back in the evening, going to Milan, going to Madrid, going to London. Flying a lot. And I wasn't quite so organized then, so I'd be white knuckling it through traffic, I'd be late, I'd be sprinting through the airport in a full coat, and what I eventually realized is that all that running that I was doing to catch the plane was futile. And what would happen is, half the time, I'd go sprinting to the airport to make my plane, and I'd plug the gate, and it would be delayed half an hour. And I'd be sitting in my seat, just marinating in my sweat, going, that was stupid. Or, the other 49.6% of the time, I'd pull up to the gate, and you'd see the plane pulling up the gate, taxiing away. Now, what I realized is that running for the plane didn't make a difference. I was either going to catch it or I wasn't going to catch it, and that little bit of running wasn't going to make the difference.
Working with all the professionals who helped them and took care of them when it came to their finances, she was getting more compassion from ChatGPT. She was learning more from Claude than she was from a person. And so my question to you is, are you showing your clients that you actually care about them? Or are you just trying to get them off the phone as quickly as possible? And you're only bothering them when you need them. And it is kind of the thing where right now, so often we've heard that phrase of, well, couldn't this meeting have been an email? Now we need that email to be a meeting. We need to put a face to our name and we need to show some compassion. And now we're gonna get really practical, because here's the thing, I don't want to leave you hanging with compassion. For some of you, you're like, Giselle, I can't help it. Especially if it's a busy season, it's a stressful season, I can't help it, I only see the numbers. How am I supposed to be more compassionate? And especially if I'm raised in my culture and in my business that you gotta keep things totally and truly professional. Giselle, how can I make it more personal and still be myself? Or even 2 hours, but ask Claude or ChatGPT to interview you and to ask you any and every question so that it truly understands your voice with 95% accuracy. The other one is, if you feel like you are explaining a difficult concept, ask it to actually break that down so that a 12-year-old can understand it. Or maybe enter the industry. Help me use examples that a doctor would be able to relate to, or a brand new couple would be able to relate to. And then my personal favorite, if you feel like you're not really sure why you're not getting the business that you believe you deserve, go ahead and have ChatGPT roast you. Here's the formula. Give gratitude, provide insight, be a little vulnerable, show me emotion, and provide support. I'm going to give you the exact script. This is exactly what you're going to do as soon as I get off the stage. You're going to call a client who was with you during a turbulent season, who without them, your business would not be what it is. And you're just going to say, hey Clarence, I just want to let you know how grateful I am for you. I'm at a conference inside right now, and there's a speaker who told a story, and I thought of you immediately. And I'll be honest, vulnerability, after reflecting on where my business is at, it would not be here without you. I'm not putting it like this, the video, not a full video. I feel, how much I care for you, how much your family means to me. I'm so grateful for you in my life. I'm so happy to know you. And if there's ever anything that I can do for you right now to support, please do not hesitate to reach out. If I can connect you to anybody, if I can support you or your business or your family's dreams, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. It is like the video voicemail, my friends. Who thinks they could do that?
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. How are we doing today? I hope we're all doing good. My name, as Simon said, is Jose M. Hernandez, and I was once a migrant farm worker, but later I became a NASA astronaut. Now, today I want to share with you not just how I went from the fields to space, but the principles that got me there. The same principles that separate the good from the elite. The elite from the extraordinary. Now I know I'm preaching to the choir here. I see more than 700 people here who are extraordinary. I mean, you're here at the MDRT. You guys are extraordinary. You should pat yourselves on the back. But there's always room for improvement. And I'm hoping that my story provides tools and anecdotes so that you got your goals here. As Emerald Live says, you kick it up a notch. And you say, given what Jose says, I should not be doing this. I should be doing this. And that's the whole goal. So let's put on our virtual seatbelt and let's dive in to my story. And that story has very humble beginnings. Ingredient is define your purpose in life. Native rental we lived in. Linoleum floor, half ceiling. And I said to myself, they're not saying to my dad, but I said to myself, I can't be any further than this. I knew I needed an education. I knew I needed to obtain technical expertise, and I needed to get the credentials so that NASA would take me seriously. Distance. This helps you develop that straight line. It may not be straight, you could have some curves, but you want to make it as straight as possible. I knew I had to build a plan. I knew I needed an engineering degree. I knew I needed to go to graduate school. You see, elite professionals don't drift. They stay focused on their goals. When my dad told me this, we were sitting at the kitchen table, and he said, make sure you go to college. You know you have to go to college and then some, right, son? I said, of course, buddy. And then always keep improving yourself, my dad would say. Gave me was he said, develop a strong work ethic, son. He basically told me, as he pointed outside the kitchen window, said, you know that effort you put out picking fruits and vegetables Saturdays and Sundays during school, 7 days a week during the summer with your siblings, mom and dad, you know that effort? I said, yes, Dad. He said, put that effort here, pointing to my books. Flight engineer. I had to demonstrate I could land the shuttle. Best seat in the house, in between the two pilots behind him, panoramic view up and down. The most coveted seat, and I got it. we're in the industry for wines to create a company, but mine tastes pretty good, out of this world. So, what I want to leave you with is I shared the 5-ingredient recipe with my dad. I threw in perseverance, never giving up. But I'm an engineer and I'm process oriented. And I said, wait, aside from that, the mechanics of getting there. Tell me more about that. And I came up with a 3-element strategy. The first one, very obvious. When you set a goal to yourself, first thing you ask, 99% of you get this. All right, what are the requirements and how am I going to get this? How am I going to meet these requirements? That's easy. But the second one was a little bit more subtle. And I got this when my wife told me, what do they have that you don't? That's when I knew I had to get my VFR, Visual Flight Rule Instrument Flight Rule certification. That's when I knew I had to get certification as a scuba diver, basic, advanced, scuba rescue, master rated. And then, the other thing you all should always be thinking about is creating a differentiator. In other words, what differentiates you from the competition? And let me tell you, sometimes you have to do things you don't like in the short run to reach your end goal. You gotta be strict. You guys are great. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias.
AIM ではモーニングセミナーやってます。変額保険の売り方セミナーですね。ZOOMによるオンラインで双方向で1回2時間ね、7時から朝の9時まで、朝礼が始まるまでにはね終わらせますから、一方通行ではなくてあなたとね一緒に双方向で勉強する。1回3000円プラス消費税300円ということで非常に安い金額でやらせていただいてますので、ぜひ概要欄からですね AIM のホームページ入ってお申し込みいただければと思います。まだの方チャンネル登録よろしくお願いします。グッドマークもよろしくお願いします。それでは今日も皆さん元気よく MDRT を目指していってらっしゃい。